Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome, my friends, to the new episode of Songs of Selah here on Diversity of the Minds Blazing Heat Radio. We are live tonight for the next 2 hours here on Monday, September 24th, 2018. We have a harvest moon up above us in the sky and just a couple days coming off the autumn equinox. So definitely going to have a bit of a theme on the shifting of the season here tonight. So this is the end of the first month of Songs of Selah. We started at the beginning of September. This will be the 4th episode, and I'm definitely starting to get into a groove, having a bit more fun each time Monday rolls along, and we will be here every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the foreseeable future. Got a lot of good guests already lined up for the October shows. Looking forward to next week when Donna Snyder, a poet living down in Texas, will be joining for an interview and to read some of her recent work. And then later on in October, we'll have Vlada Mars, pianist and poet living up in Canada, will come on and talk about her work. Also have Peter Rowitz, an Atlanta musician with the band Spectraculix, that's going to be coming on the show to discuss his work. And as far as Vlada Mars and Peter Rowitz are concerned, I have a sneak peek into their work that we'll be playing tonight. Got a couple of tracks from both of their recent albums, so I'm looking forward to letting everyone hear that great music. Also have a segment tonight where Heath Brougher, a poet up in York, Pennsylvania, is going to be coming on and talking about a poet that everyone across America likely knows, Mr. Felino Soriano, who's been dealing with some health struggles the past couple of years. And so we're going to have Heath come on and talk a little bit about how we can all help out and support that cause for him and his family at this time. So other than that, we're going to have open phone lines throughout the night. Going to be playing music and taking calls. If you'd like to give a ring here in the studio, that number is 319-527-6171. Again, that's 319-527-6171. Phone lines are open if you'd like to call in, talk about your latest projects, maybe read a few poems. We're going to be here to do just that here on Songs of Selah. So with that theme of the changing seasons in mind, here's the opening song of the night, Disposition by Tool. And watch their change.
my soul the way I do. I don't have to think, I only have to do it. The results are always perfect, but that's old news. Would you like to hear my voice, sprinkle with emotion? Your birth, I can't see the end of me. My whole expanse, I cannot see. Formulate infinity so deep inside me. To lose a mile, I had to touch feeling. I would lose my soul the way I do. I don't have to think, I only have to do it. The results are always perfect, but that's old news. Would you like to hear my voice, sprinkle with emotion? Benedict your birth, I can't see the end of me. My whole expanse, I cannot see. Formulate infinity so deep inside me.
I'm guilty of loving you in the worst kind
only knew that it was I for a night, the truth for truth, and here I lie, with my arms around you. Words I for a night, and it's true for true. You'd be blind if you only knew that it was I for a night, the truth for true.
Alright, welcome back everyone to Songs of Selah. We're here on Diversity of the Minds Radio Network. And if you happen to be streaming live through your computer, if you could do us a huge favor and click on that follow button up above the slideshow on the screen. And also please follow us on Facebook and Instagram if you would. That way you can stay in the loop with all the shows that are coming your way soon, from the Diamond Diva Carolyn Ballard and DJ B1 the Chameleon Billy Ballard, as well as myself and many other hosts here at the station. So if you could follow those, we would appreciate it greatly. Hope everyone is having a good week so far. Here's Monday winds down. It's a beautiful night here in Atlanta, a little bit cloudy, but hopefully that full moon will be shining bright and I can go check it out after this show. So the next music that I want to play is from a man named Peter Rowitz, who's the musician and lead singer for a band here in Atlanta, Georgia called Spectraculix. And I met Peter at a bar about 8 months ago, I think, at the end of 2017. I was up there enjoying my dinner and happened to run into him. It's always fortuitous to meet up with other artists here in the area, and we connected here on Facebook and been listening to his music and enjoying it for the last few months, and was talking to him earlier today. He has a new album that they're going to be putting out soon. They're in the studio now putting the finishing touches on it, called See the Colors You've Ignored Forever, and I've got a couple tracks here that I'd like to play from that tonight. The first one up is called Never Give Up. All right, so that was Never Give Up by Spectralix. And the phone lines are here, open at 319-527-6171 if anyone's out there that would like to call in and talk tonight. I'm your host, Scott Thomas Outler, here on Songs of Selah. This will be the last episode of September, but plenty more shows every Monday evening coming up in October. And the lead singer from Spectralix, Peter Rowitz, will be a guest coming up next month. Got one more song to play off his upcoming album. This one is Flamingo Shadows. Enjoy. Songs of Selah, everyone. So those last two tracks were from the band Spectralix off their forthcoming album, See the Colors You've Ignored Forever. So you can check them out on iTunes. They also have a Facebook page and Spectralix Music on Instagram. So if you're into them, please go find out more about their music. Plenty of past albums that you can find there on iTunes. And looking forward to talking to the lead singer, Peter Rowitz, in a few weeks from now. The number here at Diversity of the Minds Radio Network is 319-527-6171. Phone lines are going to be open throughout if you'd like to call in and read some poems. And it looks like we have a caller on the line right now from area code 860. Caller, are you there?
Yes. Hi.
How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. Is this Renee?
It is.
Very good.
I was
very good.
disappointed.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. It's a cloudy sky tonight. No moon yet.
Oh no, that up your way as well. That's a bummer. I hope things clear out. It's definitely been quite a sight the last few nights, so hopefully that'll come back into view here. How's your night going
sure
otherwise?
The clouds. Good. I was just listening to the songs. Some good stuff.
Thank you. Just getting in the swing of things here. Thanks for calling in tonight. Did you maybe have some poems you'd like to read?
I have some poems, yes. Do you just want me to start, or?
Yeah, if you want to read one, and then maybe tell us what inspired it. Or...
Okay. The first one I have is a very personal poem. It's about my childhood. And then the other ones aren't quite as personal.
Okay.
And it's called Family Portrait. Little girl can't shut out the sounds of screaming like sirens heading to a 5-alarm fire. The thuds of mom hitting the wall like a sack of russet potatoes. Dad preparing to spit like a choking horse, having its throat hosed out right in mom's face. Her ears cannot shudder it. Even the floor reverberates during the chase. Potato missiles hurl in vicious hate. This is when little girl slips outside and crawls underneath the picnic table and beyond. She has done this before. The secret door to her invisible world. There she is in control, a ruler of the people, battling forces of good over evil. She rides her skateboard yellow like a hornet and gritty with 2 black stripes all around the neighborhood sidewalks. It is a rocket ship, and on it she flies, talks in an invented language, fights the creatures who try to invade her planet. She wins. Upon returning home, she finds it is quiet. Dinner is mashed potatoes, the spoils of war, and she hates them for obvious reasons. Brother is not home, and there is no gravy. And that's it. That was the first one.
It's a powerful piece. It's beautifully written, of a haunting subject, obviously, but I think that's what poetry is for a lot of people, a way to express those emotions, a cathartic process.
That's why I love it. That's how I got into writing, was expressing myself. And I love to express my own emotions about life, and then, other things as well. But it has been an amazing outlet for me ever since I was probably age 14 is when I really started writing.
Oh, wow.
Not very well, of course, but I've kept it up through the years as something, off and on I've always been doing. And I love it. Just sometimes the force calls, like sometimes with the moon or whatever, and you have to sit down and write.
Seize the inspiration, absolutely. That's
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that personal piece. Very beautifully written.
Thank you. Are you allowed to swear on this show?
Absolutely, free reign.
Okay.
Go wherever you need to go.
All right. Did you want to play more music again, or did you want me to read something else?
No, feel free. We can go ahead and read another one if you'd like.
Okay. All right. This one is called "Forever in Deep Shit," which is why I asked about the swearing. Okay.
Absolutely fine.
Stretch into nothing. Reach for the black void. Make it white with fanning motions. Gulp down sorrow. Swallow. Don't breathe it, or you'll drown. Swim. Grab rocks from the bottom. Spring for surface air. Pitch them out. Breathe. You made it. For another moment. Long day, endless night. You have to keep at it. Try. Scoop soup with the silver ladle. Grab meaty morsels, the good stuff. Accept the broth. You will never get better. Need strength, need fight to kick it off. Don't give in to the other options. Slip into the deep to stay. Billow red. Keep the water clean. Wipe off that shit.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry, an annoying ad started playing during that.
Wonders of modern technology. So you started writing poetry when you were 14. Did you go to college, or has it been a hobby?
I went to college. I was an English teacher for a high school English teacher for about 11 years. And then my father had a big stroke, so I was taking care of him for about 6 months, and now I'm not taking care of him, and I'm looking into like maybe doing assistant teaching, but I haven't started that again yet. And I'm also a visual artist. I paint and draw.
Very cool.
And so basically I'd like to bop around and teach and write and practice visual art.
That's awesome. Do you have a website or anywhere that people can go to see your work?
No, I've been kind of mysterious up to this point.
Okay.
Coming soon.
All right. We'll keep an eye out for that. And once you get that going, come back on and read some more, unless you have another one you'd like to read tonight.
I can just, I have another one, but I don't know how you feel about the mood I might be creating, so I could call back another time if you'd like. The other one is just about love. It's actually not as, heavy. I'll read that last one for you, and then we'll say goodnight.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Renee, and I hope that moon comes back up where you're at. And
did you want me to read the last one or no?
No,
I said they would read the last one and say goodnight. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
I'll read the last one and then say goodnight. Thank you so much for having me. I'll read and then I'll go. It's called Wine is Fine. Love is this Merlot that sweats, dark red, reflective and deep. Have enough, it will feel warm, tingly with a pleasant buzz. Too much, and you will desperately puke out the putrid sweet taste, flush it weakly down in thickened freedom. Not enough, and your lips will smack and yap bitter contempt for everyone else who has had it, and of that one who let you down, who didn't have enough of the red stuff that you licked and licked for, only to smash the glass. Good night, Scott. Thank you so much for having me. And my name is Renee, by the way.
Absolutely. Renee, Elizabeth, everyone, thank you for calling in. Really appreciate it. And excellent
Okay, thanks. All right, thank you. Good night.
All right, good night. All right, thank you to Renee for calling in. That's what this show is here for. We want the audience to call in, read your work, promote it. Artists of all sorts. That's what we're here for on Songs of Selah. So definitely appreciate the callers. If there's anyone out there that would like to get on the show tonight. That number is 319-527-6171. And one of the themes here tonight, of course, is the harvest moon and the autumn equinox. So we've got a few songs on tap in that variety and vein. So here's Moon Dance by Van Morrison.
cry, devil may care. The Steelers got her screaming, now I know just why. When she's moving in, can you feel the voltage? This is my time. California skies got room to spare. This is my time. All in all, and I'm loving every rise and fall. The sun will make and I will take breath to be sure of this. In the end, and then all will be forgiven when surrender rises high. And I gave what I came to give. Say it now because you never know. Oh, never know. Take it outside, take it out there. Seem to me like all the world gets high when you take a deal in the final moment. This is my time. All in all, and I'm loving every rise and fall. The sun will make and I will take breath to be sure of this. In the end, and then all will be forgiven when surrender rises high. And I gave what I came to give. Say it now because you never know. Oh, never know. As I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hand, lose my plow, lose my land, oh, if I ever lose my hand, oh, I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, it's if I ever lose my eyes, oh, I won't have to cry no more. Yes, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my leg, I won't moan and I won't beg. Oh, if I ever lose my leg, oh, I won't have to walk no more. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south. Guess if I ever lose my mouth, oh, I won't have to talk. Did it take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. Oh, did it take long to find me? And are you gonna stay the night? I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Shadow, moon shadow.
All right, welcome back everyone to Songs of Selah. That was Moon Shadow by Cat Stevens, keeping the theme of the harvest moon in mind tonight. The number here in the studio is 319-527-6171. If you'd like to call in here to Diversity of the Minds Radio Network. So this next segment is going to be about a poet that we all know and love, Mr. Felino Soriano, who has been going through some struggles with his health the past couple of years, and just a good man, and it's sad to see what's been happening to him. And so I wanted to bring on someone that knows him a little bit better than I do, mutual friend to both of ours, Mr. Heath Brougher, who was a previous guest on the show, to talk to folks a little bit more about Felino and maybe give some ideas on how we might be able to help out him and his family in this difficult time. So, Heath, are you there, my friend?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey,
am I coming through?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on tonight. I know it's not the greatest of subjects to be talking about, obviously, but definitely want to get the message out there about how people can help out Felino right now.
Yeah, I'd like to really get this message out if I can. Felino's, he has a 7-year-old daughter and a wife, and he's battling this esophageal cancer for almost 2 years, but I think about a year and a half, almost 2 years. But just recently, this GoFundMe page was started up, and so if you know of Felino Soriano, or if you don't, you should really look into his stuff because he's one of the greatest poets alive. You can help him and his family by going to the GoFundMe page, which is at www.gofundme.com/Felino-Soriano. And Felino Soriano is spelled FELINO-SORIANO. And from there, you can donate as much as you want. You can donate $2 you want, you can donate $500 if you want. Every little penny will help, I'm sure.
Yeah, every amount helps in these situations with the family. There's so many struggles that come along with having a member or a close loved one that's dealing with this. I think everyone in America can relate to this sort of situation. We've all had loved ones that have had cancer, and I know personally my father passed away a few years ago from lung cancer, and it's a heinous thing and a hell of a thing to happen to good people, and Felino's certainly one of the good ones in this world. not just a
most definitely.
fantastic poet.
He wasn't just a great poet, but he was an amazing person. I mean, he befriended me. When I first started submitting, he befriended me. When most editors kind of just turn their backs on me, or whatever. He took the time to talk to me and befriend me, and he was just a good person all around. He is a good person all around. So.
Yeah, Felino used to run that journal of With. I think that actually might be
that
how I met
that
you.
was one of the best journals around. Yeah.
His journal.
Yeah, that could have been. Yeah.
But it's always been, I didn't have as close a relationship with him as you do, but anytime I exchanged emails with him, he was always extremely personable and just willing to give advice, and just one of those good guys, you can tell.
Yeah, and he was. Yeah, the past 2 days, I mean, I've been felt like I've just had the wind knocked out of me. I've just been down and depressed, and because I just had a feeling he was definitely gonna beat this, but now it looks like barring some kind of miracle that he might not, and that's just the thought of it kind of makes me sick. Feel sick a little bit, but
I want to read from this GoFundMe page. Once again, that's www.gofundme.com/Felino-Soriano. And if you're friends with Heath on Facebook, he's got that link up on his page. And then I also just put it in the comment section on my current post about this show. So if anyone would like to donate, please do so. This is what it says on the page. Felino Soriano was diagnosed with stage 4 esophageal cancer in March 2017. After being diagnosed with cancer, he was determined to fight this battle. He has stayed strong and has gone through many strong treatments, but now he has been admitted to hospice care. We would like to reach out to all his family and friends for a monetary donation to support his family with needed expenses through this difficult time. Any amount helps. In advance, we would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support and ask that you keep Felino and his family in your prayers. We love you, Felino. And they've got $2,290 out of a $5,000 goal in the first 3 days. So that's a good start, but if there's anybody out there that can help out, please continue to contribute to that campaign.
And also, if they can exceed that goal, I mean, that'd be great too. If you can even go past that, somehow that'd be great. That's why I say, any amount that a person can possibly give to Felino and to his daughter, who's cute as a button, his daughter, and then his wife, who I say is one of the luckiest women in the world, since she's married to such a genius and to such an amazing just person overall in general.
And absolutely another reason that you want to support the family in these situations is because they're dealing with enough stress on their own. Don't want them having to worry about financial concerns when their hearts are so heavy at this moment. And so just again encourage everyone to reach out, support in whatever way you can. Thoughts, prayers, and donations to GoFundMe all go a long way. And it's just a hard time for a lot of people in many of the poetry communities because Felino's reach was so far across so many different circles with all the styles that he wrote with and just all the different people he's connected with, having published God knows how many books and how many different publishers.
He published, I think, almost 90 or possibly over 90 books in a 10-year period. which is amazing, an amazing feat. And he still has other books that I think are still due out. One of them I know is still due out. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, Foligno, just one of the most prolific poets on the scene for so many years.
Most definitely.
Definitely looked up to him.
An amazing work ethic, yeah.
So,
and his Up With magazine, that was like the pinnacle of all the great experimental kind of poets were published in that. That was a really great magazine he had. And before that, he had the great magazine. It was kind of before I started submitting, called Counterexample Press. I think it was called Counterexample Press. He definitely had a major impact on the literary world, and I think in the long run, I have a poem that was published in Clockwise Cat, edited by the amazing Allison Ross, who I've met in person twice, and she's just out of this world, amazing person, totally down to earth and real and cool and real. And she has this journal, Clockwise Cat, that she edits. If you haven't checked that out, you should check that out too. And I had a poem actually published in there recently that was it was dedicated to Foligno. So if you wanted me to read that, I could read that now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be a good tribute to him, especially coming from Clockwise Cat, where I know he was published so often. That is definitely a great journal.
Yeah, just a couple pages before mine, I think, are 5 of his poems. So, or 3 of his poems. Sorry. So that's always a good thing to be published, in the same journal as Foligno. But
yeah, absolutely.
This poem is titled "The Jazz Man's Magnanimous Words" for Foligno A. Soriano. I couldn't, with my own eyes, think it possible to witness a purebred genius would strike my viewing, head spinning my head, eternally upon the realest, the truest writing my retinas had ever lent themselves to. No thing in modernity or the past could I possibly compare it to, so I stepped back, taking it all in full microscopic view, so deeply, expertly, in a surprised experience of extant emancipation never before expressed in such a way. I realized I had found what I had been looking for, the new newness, the poet who compared to Williams, Cummings, Pound, the greatest poet of my generation. I found the magnanimity of the jazz man's words. I revel in them daily.
That's a great piece, my friend. Definitely got that idea about the jazz in there. Foligno.
Yeah, Foligno's a huge fan of jazz music. It's another quality of him. He wrote a lot of poems, especially his earlier poems were kind of like, they were titled, but they were kind of like based on a certain song by a jazz musician, and you can see that if you buy some of his books. That's really apparent.
Yeah, his style definitely had that spontaneous rhythmic flow.
Yeah.
You could tell that listening to the music as he got into the zone. And flowed.
Well, I've always said that he's a poet who had just instant access to complete and utter brilliance. The way he wrote could make you see something that you thought you knew in a completely from a completely new angle, in a completely new way, and he did so in a way that I've never seen any other poet do or write like, and I was totally blown away by his work. I was just as blown away by when I emailed him or something, and he actually got back to me and was nice to me, and we talked, and we became pretty good friends after that. Yeah, we still are friends.
Polino, a genuinely good guy, and once again, we want to ask listeners, if you have anything that you can support this GoFundMe campaign with, please do so. And
yes,
speaking of great poets, Heath, looks like we've got another one on the line here, so if you want to hang there with us, I'm going to bring Alan Britt on, another poet who's been published in Clockwise Cat quite a few times and knows Felino. So, Alan, are you there?
Go ahead.
Mr. Alan Britt? Okay, I'm not being able to connect with him so far, but we'll give it another try here in a minute. Alan, if you can hear me, are you there?
Yeah, you guys there?
Yeah. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I was printing out 3 poems by Felino that I requested from him. I was just looking at the date. This goes back to 2013, and I was asked to edit a special issue of Truck online magazine, and so I contacted Felino, and he sent me 3 poems. Anyway, so I'm calling in support and respect for Felino Soriano.
Well, thank you for that. That's very much appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good man. He's one hell of a poet, And,
sure.
Anyway, you guys mind if I read what he sent?
No, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Love you to do that.
Right. So these are 3. They're kind of short poems for Felino, and of course I don't know it. This might have been a little bit early on for him, but anyway, the first one is a very short poem. Now it says that they're from a series of poems called "Of These Voices," and the first one is a short little thing called "Silence." Anyway, it goes like this. Indicative of injury or range of the emotional dilemmas, cultivated into holes of angled articulation, the radical partitions opaque in the clarity of need, wandering as do woven models, sustained of the wholeness such tongues desire, hushed. So that's the poem called Silence. Now he's got...
I wanted to pump my fist in there 2 different times in that poem. There's 2 really great parts in that. Go ahead.
Yeah, this next one is called Stone. Of course, you all can't see it, but you guys know his work, and you know how he spaces these. They would call it spatial prosody. If you study poetry, the line, they move around the page like jazz music, all freestyle kind of.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one's called Stone, and it goes like this: clusters seen by the radial visions, contained by interwoven hands, these hands such disparate philosophies of time, then time's motivated structure, each underneath rendition of cold, yes, unseen, darkened by soil's midnight, thrown or used as decorative, unknowing, resting in the forever meaning of forgotten amnesis. So that's Stone. Yeah. I'll read this last one that he sent. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. This one is called Apparition. Figurative examinations mirror, though mundane in its morphologic landscape, eyed and softened script belief of television trickery. This use to determine followers' misinterpretation of a photo's blurred or crystallizing into fade and dusk of momentum's unused dichotomy. That's Apparition.
Yeah.
All right, three really good ones as always from Foligno.
Well, he's a mystical poet for sure. He's jazz. You know, there are a lot of things we could say about Foligno, and he certainly is that has that jazz influence. But his poetry is mystical at the same time. Very imaginative stuff.
Yeah.
And just the imagery it evokes when you're reading through it, and that different sort of rhythm that he has. A lot of people do the spatial poems, but he had his own unique energy, I think, to his. And just each read through, you can always get that different feel or energy from it when you're going through them. And even listening to you, Alan, just now reading them, it puts a different spin on it even from that angle.
Well, it does. Yeah, I know. Of course, when people read poetry out loud, it tends to make, it tends to make poetry that's already a little difficult sometimes to grasp when you first experience a poem, and it looks different on the page because you get a little bit, as you were suggesting, Scott, you get this different kind of energy when you look at it on the page.
Exactly. And actually, the poem I dedicated to him, I wrote kind of the way he writes, with it spaced out in different places and a lot of space in there. But you can't hear that when it's read. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I got that in there because that's something that he does a lot of, using the space. Sometimes it'll be a word, and then the whole way across that line there'll be another word or two other words, and then like an indentation on the next line, which I love personally. Those are kind of like my favorite type of poems he would write, the ones that were spaced out like that with the indentations and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, that's the energy that you get from them. It's very unique. I mean, as you said, a lot of people do space the poems out, but with Foligno, it's true. You get to kind of a uniqueness in the energy that the flow that he creates. So that is like his fingerprint almost.
Well, I think those sorts of spaces that you put in almost get into your own head. It's the flow and the rhythm from which it's being created, and the spontaneity that he wrote with. You can almost see his brain thinking, and as the inspired thoughts come to him, and like through the moments of silence in between, and then another spark hits the page, and then a bit of silence. It's almost creating those tones, and it's just he just had a beautiful mind, and does. Yeah, you're right.
It is kind of paradoxical that at the same time we get sound and we get silence and sound together, and it's that's not everybody can create that sensation. but he did a good job with it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And just to remind anyone that's listening in, we're talking about Felino Soriano right now, and his family has a donation page up on GoFundMe.com, GoFundMe.com/Felino-Soriano, and anyone that can help out with that, his family and all his peers, the three of us, and everyone else out there, would definitely appreciate that support for his family right now in this time.
Yeah.
So that was neat to hear, though. I consider Felino Soriano, Haller Levinson, and Alan Britt to be the three greatest living writers. That was cool to hear one of them read one of the others' work. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have to quote you on that, maybe. Yeah.
Go
That's
ahead.
very, very kind of you, really. Yeah. Well, wish it was a little bit happier news to do it. Can tell you that.
Yeah. Definitely a somber topic to talk about, but I think, like I was saying earlier, we've, at this point in American culture, I think everyone has had to face this issue with cancer with friends or family or both or personally, and just know the type of toll that it takes on everyone, the family and neighbors and surrounding community, and it's just a damn sad thing that we have to deal with this, but he definitely put up a hell of a fight.
You know, there's something here. I have his bio here from when he sent this stuff to me. And he sent this stuff to me because I think it was, I want to think it was, let's see, the January 2013 issue of Truck, I think is what it was for. But even at his bio, it says he had authored, at that point, nearly 6 collections of poetry. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, that 5 dozen, that's 60 books by then.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I think he's up to like 90 now.
Yeah.
And with more coming. I know there's at least one more coming. So, I mean, that's what most people would publish in 3 or 4 lifetimes.
Michael Annis of Howling Dog Press has been working on a big book.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a little bit about that particular book of his.
Yeah, he's been working on that book for a while now.
Yeah, I think the book's going to blow people away. Not just. I actually haven't read it, but from what the cover art is going to be like, I think it's going to be really, really cool and special and unique.
Do we have any idea when that book's coming out?
No, I haven't gotten any word on that recently.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to Michael about it, I don't know, months ago now. Time flies, but we, at that point in time when I was talking to Michael about it, we knew that Felino had the esophageal cancer. I didn't know how bad it was going to be for him. We were hoping for the best. But that was several months ago, so I'm thinking it's probably pretty close to coming out. Hope it comes out soon.
Yeah, me too.
I think the current turn in events, he might be putting more energy into it at this point.
I would hope so.
Just as an homage to Felino.
Yeah.
But something you were saying, the book there, and what Heath was saying earlier about the work ethic Felino has. I know when I first broke into poetry, I guess back in 2014, and was reading people's bios and looking over things, and saw, I think he had over 5,000 individual poems, not to mention the books that he has out. And that was just definitely a spur in my side, that work ethic to really challenge myself and to get on the ball. I remember
on top of that, I'm sorry to interrupt. On top of that, he didn't start writing or submitting until 2008. So that's 90 books, or possibly over 90 books in 10 years.
It's unbelievable.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of output of to go along with being a good family man on top of it. So it's not just a poet, like you said earlier, also just a good, decent human being, and we need more of those.
Magnanimous, like I said, yeah.
Yeah, amen to that. Yeah.
So, once again, that link to GoFundMe, you can find that on Heath Brougher's Facebook page if you're friends with him on there, and it's also in the comments section of the recent link I put up. That'll take you straight to that page if anyone out there would like to donate some money to the cause and help his family out. And also go check out his work if you're not familiar with it. I think most poets are, but
if you're not familiar with it, you should, because it's what your grandchildren will be reading, right next to, Walt Whitman and E. Cummings, right afterward,
Yeah, you can Google him and find him pretty easily.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Put Soriano into Google, and you're going to get about 100 pages or so of.
At least. It's got to be at least.
Yeah.
Well, that's about 10 books a year, something like that.
He has a page that has all of his books on it, and all of his publications on it, and whatnot. So, kind of like Scott 17 Numa. In a way, he has his own page like that. Similar, it has, that's where I found all of his books. Going back with him, and what book was published the year before that, and a lot of them you can read for free online. So, I wish I had the address for that. I don't have it. Let's make sure I caught that, but
well, in the bio here, one of the publishers of Foligno is Fowlpox, Fowlpox, Fowlpox Press.
Yeah.
That's one of them. He's got another one here. White Sky eBooks is another one.
Yeah.
Differentia Press is another one.
Yeah, they
but you're right.
Earlier books.
You're right. You could just go to his site, www.follinosoriano.info, and you could probably find all the books.
Yeah, and you can read some for free if you want. They're on there, so you can get a taste of his work, and then buy some print versions.
Yeah, I'm looking at that FolinoSoriano.info right now, and at the book section, his most recent on there, Searching for Full Body Syllables, was the winner of the 2017 Urbacci Prize for Poetry over there in the UK. So
that's that one out of 15,000 submissions. His book won out of 15,000 submissions to that contest.
Besides him being an incredible poet, he's like you guys pointed out, he's was quite the humanitarian, is quite the humanitarian. He worked, I'm just looking here again, and I'm reminded, he was the director of supported living and independent living programs, providing supports to adults with developmental disabilities.
Yep.
So, he's given a lot of himself to humanity.
He absolutely has. Just another reason for people out there to support that kind of karma that he put out in the world and help out his family in this time of need, the same way that he was helping out all those other families.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I hope people go support him. He deserves it.
Yeah, and there is no such thing as a small donation. $1 is enough. Whatever you can spare.
Yeah, whatever we can do to help out the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys, who started the GoFundMe page?
That was I think started by his cousin, Stephanie Hernandez. I think her name is Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah. Well, you promoted it on your Facebook, Heath. Scott, I think you did. I put it on my Facebook, and people can just, at the very least, just keep sharing it, so that more and more people, because as that branches out, more and more people are able to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you don't have, a lot of us are poor poets, I know, out there in the world. So even if you don't have the money, like Alan just said, that's a great point. Just get that reach further out there, and if you share it, it's going to get in front of eyes of somebody who does have the means to help out. So get that visibility out there. It's a great point. Help spread the word.
Very true.
Well, that's,
we do what we can.
I'm going to definitely dedicate this show tonight to Felino. Our thoughts are with him and his family in this time. I want to thank Heath Brougher for calling in and reading that great tribute that was in Clockwise Cat and telling us about the GoFundMe page. And thank you to Alan Britt for calling in and reading those 3 poems by Felino. Just amazing work by him, read by another amazing poet. So that's a lot of tremendous energy of the poetic word going out right there, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
I want to thank both you guys for being on here tonight and helping get this word out.
Well, thank you, Scott.
Thank you very much for having me. And let's hope we did a lot of we did help a lot here, hopefully, and more people will start donating after this. We'll see. But thank you again for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, same here.
Thank you both,
same
my
here.
friends. And as we were saying a few times there, Felino, definitely inspired by the jazz. So I've got a song here to dedicate to him as we go to the next break. So once again, thanks Heath Brougher and Alan Britt. Hope y'all both have a nice evening, even though we're talking about a somber subject here. And this is
all right, guys. Great talking to both of you.
Good talking to you guys, too.
Well, Heath. So we're going to go to
goodbye.
John Coltrane.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Giant Steps here in honor of Felino Soriano. back, everyone, to Songs of Selah here on Diversity of the Minds Radio Network. We're here every Monday evening from 9 until 11 p.m. Eastern Time. This will be the last show here in September, but we'll be back on October 1st with Donna Snyder as the guest. She'll be reading some of her poetry and talking about her latest projects. So we're celebrating the harvest moon, but also have a somber heart tonight as that last segment. We're talking about Felino Soriano, and want to thank once again Brougher and Britt for calling in and helping support the GoFundMe page for Felino. We've got about 20 minutes left in the show tonight, and wanted to talk about another guest that's going to be coming on in October, who's just a wonderful musician, pianist, living up in Canada. I first came across her work, I think happened upon it on Twitter, and I remember just watching video after video after video of her playing the piano. Always puts me in a great mood, and so I wanted to play a couple of her tracks here tonight from one of her latest albums called Under My Fingertips, just to get a taste of what we'll be listening to when she comes on the show in a few weeks. And this first track goes right along with the autumn feeling and the harvest moon energy. It's called Moonlight Over the River. This is Vlada Mars. Okay, once again, that was Moonlight Over the River by Vlada Mars off of her album Under My Fingertips. And she has a new album coming out soon that she'll be coming on the show to talk to us about in the near future. So I want to thank everyone for listening to Songs of Selah tonight here on Diversity of the Minds Blazing Heat Radio. We are here every Monday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. Got one more track off of that Under My Fingertips album by Vlada Mars, and if anyone is interested in finding out more about her music, you can find her anywhere on social media: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. She has pages on all of them and posts her music there if you want to get another taste. And this next one follows in the same theme as the last. It's called Moonbeam. All right. Thank you for joining us here tonight on Songs of Selah from Diversity of the Minds Radio Network. Once again, that was Piano from Vlada Mars off her album Under My Fingertips. We've got about 10 minutes left in the show, and I wanted to bring on to the air now the Chameleon DJ B1, Mr. Billy Ballard, to talk a little bit about Diversity of the Minds here tonight. How you doing there, Billy?
Hey, I'm doing okay. You know what I'm saying? I feel offended that you call me Billy because that is my Facebook name, but but it's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. DJ B1.
Yeah, I have an alter ego, and I don't like everybody to know my alter ego. But anyway, it's all good, man. I'll tell you what, Scott. I tell you that you are doing a fantastic job of presenting your show. This is what Diversity of Mind Blazing Heat Radio is all about. It's about diversity, you know what I mean? And you are doing a fantastic job of doing what you're doing. And I just want to commend you for that, okay?
I appreciate that very much, and I, of course, appreciate the opportunity to be on here and share poetry and music with the world. It's a beautiful thing on a beautiful night here with the harvest moon.
Oh, yes, exactly. So I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to give you a little bit, give the audience a little bit, about Diversity of Mind Blazing Heat Radio. We are a radio station that we are diverse in everything that we do. We have shows. Right now, we have a coming up. We do have a 7 nights a week. We will be doing a show 7 nights a week because we have a full lineup coming very, very soon. We're going to have a sports show, besides the shows that we already have, which is Scott, Music of Selah. And we have my show, actually, not Funking for Fun, but for all of y'all. And, the Diamond Diva, also, the CEO of this company, she has several shows. So we do want you to, as the listeners right here, right now, that's listening to the show via the link, we want you to hit that follow button. And you just follow us. Hit that follow button and follow us. And what you get in return is, you are going to get in return, all of our shows, whenever we're on air, on your personal email. That's what you're going to get. So we have a lineup that's coming up very soon, very soon. We have a comedy show that's going to come up very soon. We have a comedy show that's coming up very soon, and that will be soon. We'll give you the details on the comedy show that's coming up.
We have a sports show coming up as well?
Yes, starting next Wednesday. Not this Wednesday, coming up, which is day after tomorrow. No, not that Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that, we have a sports show coming up then. So if you don't hit that follow button, you will never know what's going on here. So, yeah, we have the sports show coming up, and we also have a comedy show coming up. I can't tell you exactly what day that is going to be coming on. And we have some other shows coming up, too, as well. So, I mean, if you want to make sure that you are in tune to the best and the best internet radio station in the planet, on the planet, in the planet, make sure that you do that. And with Scott, hey, he has open poetry show that come on, And we commend you for what you're doing, what you are doing, and what you are going to be doing. But, hey, I just want to come on and say, hey, support Diversity of the Mind, Blazing Heat Radio. And if I, wait a minute, excuse me, I'm going to clear my throat. I'm going to say this in my regular DJ voice. Stay tuned to Diversity of the Mind, Blazing Heat Radio, and you will get everything that you will need, because we are Diversity of the Mind, Blazing Heat Radio. That was a PSA.
Right on. Well,
yeah.
Once again, DJ B1, thanks for giving me this opportunity to be on air. Having a blast so far in this first month, and I just want to reiterate what you just told everyone. Please hit that follow button up above the slideshow on the screen you're listening from. Get in the loop here with Diversity of the Minds Radio Network and Blazing Heat Radio. You can also find us on Facebook and on Instagram and all those social media platforms.
Yes, absolutely. So Scott, you know what I mean? I just want to come in just for a minute, you know what I'm saying, because myself and the Diamond Diva, the CEO of this company, I just want to say and commend you that you're doing a great job, and you're bringing that diversity that we always wanted to bring, and we appreciate it.
Glad to be here, and appreciate the opportunity as well. We'll just keep looking forward to those shows that you're talking about coming out soon.
Okay, you know, one other thing that I wanted to say, because I heard some of your guests, and you know, they was kind of skeptical about, you know, they was like, okay, well, maybe, you know, this is not appropriate. This is an X-rated radio station, so you can say whatever the hell you want to say, whatever the fuck you want to say. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Scott ain't gonna say all of that, you know what I'm saying? But you can say exactly what you want to say to express yourself without any intuitions or anything. You can say whatever you want to say, and I don't know if Scott put that out there for you, you know, whether it's on his show or not, but you can say whatever you want to say and how you want to say it, because this is going to be an adult show. It's an adult show, and you know, with Diversity of the Mind, Blazing Heat Radio, you can be whoever you want to be and how you want to be, and you can just do the damn thing. So, hey, Scott, that's it.
I love it. We're gonna bring the fire. Coming up again next week on Monday night. Hope everyone will join us then at 9 p.m. Eastern, and follow us here on Diversity of the Minds Radio Network for all the other shows as well. Thank you to DJ B1 for popping in. Thank you to Heath Brougher, Alan, Renee, Elizabeth, Vladimars, and Peter Rowitz for being part of the show this evening. And hope everyone has an awesome night ahead on this harvest moon evening. Cheers and Selah.